a lot of times people think that people going through an illness or that have a disability, they see us as different entities of like not having the same desires and wants as a healthy person. Mm-hmm. So it's important to talk about sex or experiment to what you're comfortable with your partner. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it's all about, because since our bodies change so much, there's things we couldn't do when we were healthy. So you kind of have to go through the motions, I feel like, and do what makes you comfortable. And you and your spouse should have an open communication, obviously, so they can understand that.
Well, it comes with this another level of acceptance where, you know, when I was first sick and, you know, I was feeling fatigued, maybe I wasn't in the mood, and then I met my partner at the time, and, you know, relationship-wise, I didn't look too sick, so, you know, he accepted me for the way I was, but very quickly I was very sick, but I was able to, you know, spin it for him in a positive way, and he got me through the first beginning years of my illness. And yes, there were many times where if I was fatigued or I definitely went through periods of depression where I was on medication and I was not ready for sex. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't mentally feeling it, physically feeling it.
Because also I feel like
hurt, if my body hurt,
you're just not feeling good.
Yeah.
And
some of the medications do that too, as a side effect.
Side effects.
You know, affect your desire to have sex.
Right.
For me, I got married after being diagnosed.
Mm. Me too.
So he knew I had scleroderma, so it wasn't like, you know, surprise it just happened. He knew when he married me that I had scleroderma.
Was it hard to have met him and then have that discussion about having an illness? Because
it was.
Yes.
It was really difficult, even though we had been friends for years. Just some things you don't talk about with someone other than your partner.
Right.
And now I think that that's a huge issue because I'm constantly tired. I wake up and I'm ready to go back to sleep.
Fatigue.
And, you know, he comes home from work at night and it's, you know, he's home, he's relaxed. And maybe for him it seems like, well, that's the natural thing to happen. And I'm too tired to even think about it.
Yeah.
I think there's sometimes an opposite effect, though, is your partner, maybe you're at a point where you do feel okay and you do feel physically fine and mentally fine, but they might look at you as kind of fragile. I don't want to hurt you, or you are sick.
Yes.
I don't want to make it worse.
I heard that. I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
And then you also have to have the discussion, like, if you're feeling fine, like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Now's the time. I'm feeling good. You better get in.
You better lose it.
Well, it's been harder for me because, you know, life, scleroderma does discriminate against life. So, cut to the chase, married, kid, divorce, dating. Dating is hard with an illness. Well, because, you know, here I'm a triple threat. I'm a single mom with an illness and my hands look funny. Like, so, okay, like, who wants that? Dating websites, like, you know, so I went on many dates where they, you know, I sort of brought up the hand thing and, you know, eased into it. I could tell immediately some people who were receptive and some people who were not. Perhaps those people didn't get a face-to-face. And, you know, I had to weed out a lot of frogs because some men are just not accepting of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just in general, like, I feel like they would have probably been the one that had we been together and I was diagnosed with cancer, he would have hit the road.
Well,
yeah.
So, like...
You weed them out early. That's what I say. You weed them out early because it's like, if you can't even accept this, then I don't need you. Yeah. Anyways.
Right, and then, I mean, it's, like, awkward, and then you're sitting there, and I'm not ordering a sandwich, which I can't hold. I'm, like, ordering soup.
I'm going through that.
Something easy and tiny, and,
I'm going through that now because I'm young. I'm only 30. I got diagnosed 8 years ago. Right. So it took me a long time to put myself out there because, you know, in your 20s, you're kind of going through the motions of, who am I? Who do I want to be? Mm-hmm. And that's when I got hit with this. So it kind of had to I had to change gears, kind of. And I just recently started kind of accepting, like, okay, I am pretty enough to date, or I do have a lot to offer, even if I can't have kids with somebody, there's still a lot of other things I have to offer. Yeah. So it's been interesting because, like you said, it's like, when do you bring up the disease? And I've kind of experimented by now, and I've gotten to a point where it's like, well, this is me. I know I'm awesome. If you don't see that, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's right.
Like,
Totally.
that's all
I've
it
acted
is.
like nothing. You know, I've even joked. You know, if I've been at a bar before I was in a relationship and people were just staring, I'm like, oh, I'm dying. Would you like to buy me a drink?
Oh my gosh.
I have scared the bejesus out of people doing stuff like that, and that's just my humor sometimes. You know, yet I've been, you know, walked into a supermarket or whatever, or a grocery store, and I needed like Gatorade because I had a lot of fun the night before, and like somebody's asked me, well, why are your hands like that? I'm like, I don't want to talk. It's not ready for. I'm not ready for that. Just open the Gatorade and let me go.
Yeah.
Like, you choose when to tell people, random strangers on the street. You know, I had one, you know, date who panicked and had to leave. And then he walked out of the restaurant. Like, I went to my car. I was kind of upset. And then he came back to my car. He said, well, can I talk to you? And I said, okay. He said, I'm really sorry I behaved that way. He said, I just wasn't prepared. Like, I think you're a really great person. He's like, but whatever you have going on, I don't think that I could handle. And I said, you know what?
That's nice of him to be
As
honest.
crappy as that may seem, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate the fact that you know yourself, and that's fine. I wish you luck.
Yeah, the honesty helps.
Oh, big time. I mean,
Because if he didn't say anything to you, you're stuck wondering, like, well, is it because of this? Is it because of that? Is it because of this?
I'm
You
all
know?
like, is it the illness? Is it my hands? Is it the kid? Is it the ex-husband? Like, I have a million things.